Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be talking or continuing on the discussion of Introduction to Algebra, and we'll be talking specifically about opposites. Now when we have a problem, let's say we have 5, here, let me use a different color, 5, okay, 5 times 3, which is equal to 15. The opposite is going to be in division. 15 divided by, let me get some more room. 15 divided by 5 is equal to 3. So you can see the multiplication and division are opposites, and I'm sure you've used this in a lot of your arithmetic days, and same with goes with addition and subtraction. If you have 3 plus 2 equals 5, the opposite will most definitely be 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. Of course, this is a coincidence that both answers are going to be equal to 3. Now, if you go to the third point, you'll see that it's a new and unfamiliar concept. Maybe some of you might have already learned this, but most of you, this is a new concept. Well, I'll just be talking briefly, and there will be a video more in depth about both exponents and logarithms and how they are both opposites. But just for now, just understand that these are new words that I'm introducing to you. You might have it in the back of your brain, and that these will both be opposites. So let's give an example gearing towards variables. Let's go for an example on how this applies to variables. So let's say I go to a grocery store, and usually in algebra we pick any letter in the alphabet, and it's usually X, Y, or Z. Let's just pick Z, just for the sake of it. Let's pick Z. And so I'm going to this grocery store, and I'm picking up some apples. So Z is the number of apples. And so Z is the number of apples. So I have Z here. And I'm walking to my car, and I'm like, oh shoot, I need to get double this. I forgot I need to make 2 apple pies instead of 1. So now, this is a different color. So now I have 2 apple pies, but I forgot how many apples there are. And so now I go to the cashier and I show them my receipt. I don't know how many apples there are. And they say, well, you have a total of 6 apples. And so how we solve this is this 2 and Z are bound by multiplication. Bound by multiplication. And you'll see me use the word bound. You might not be seeing it in any other resources, but I like to use this word bound because it indicates how these two are connected, so you can understand how to solve these problems. So like it is shown here, the opposite of multiplication is going to be, here, let's have a different color. It's going to be division. So how do we solve this, at least with respect to multiplication and division? So let's write that problem again. 2Z is equal to 6, and the whole goal is to solve for the number of apples that I bought. And so the goal is to leave z alone. And since 2 and z are bound together by multiplication, you need to divide by 2. Now I'm going to make a very specific point here that is going to be very important in solving these. If I just leave it like this, and I'll tell you why I chose 2. If I just leave it like this, it will lead to contradictions. Like z is equal to 6. Well, if I get twice the number of apples, which is equal to 6, then how can the number of apples be 6? It just doesn't make sense logically. So we have to always remember to divide or do the opposite to both sides of the equation, or the equal sign, sorry, of the equal sign. So let's solve the left hand first. Well, why did I pick 2? That's because 2 divided by 2, or a number divided by any other number, well, this is going to be equal, sideways rectangle. This is going to be equal to 1. Just this part is going to be equal to 1. And 1, since it's still bound by multiplication, 1 times, here, let me make this bigger, times z is just equal to z. So now we have the left side, which is just, let's pick a different color. This is just going to be equal to z. And let's see what happens to this side. 6 divided by 2 is going to be equal to 3. So you can see that we need to have both sides cooperating. And so now z, which we have solved, z is equal to 3. Let's try another one. This time we're going to be using addition and subtraction. Let's say I go to my local bank and I have, let's pick X. Let's pick X. I have X amount of dollars in my bank account. And I just recently did some work and I got a paycheck of $20. And so now I go to the cashier, not cashier. I go to my bank and ask, well, bank, how much money do I have in total? And they say, sir, you have $22. Left side and right side, $22. So now I need to solve for how much money I had before I got $20. So let's write X is, or equal to, how much I had before my paycheck. And this needs to be identified because units will also play in a very important role. So this is going to be in, let's have a different color for units. This is going to be in dollars, and this is also going to be in dollars. So back to the problem. Since these are bound, there's the word bound again. Bound. These are bound by, what is it? X plus, meaning addition. What is the opposite of addition? Well, back in the previous slide, the opposite of addition is subtraction. So how do you solve this? Let's rewrite the problem. X plus 20 equals 22, and we'll put the dollar signs here since the units, they don't really matter, but just for the sake of practice-wise, we'll use the units here. So how we make X alone, we need to use subtraction. Oops, that's a bad line. We use subtraction in some sort of way. Well, we can do it like this. Minus $, $20. And like I always said, you have to, what you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. Otherwise, you just don't get the correct answer. Minus $20. And so now, positive 20 minus 20, it cancels out, or equals 0. Well, x plus 0, it just equals x. So x plus 0, x equals, equals, and now 22 minus 20 is going to be equal to 2. And let's put the dollar signs here so we know what we're going for. So I had, how much money did I have before the paycheck? I had $2. I know, very sad. So I hope you have a general understanding of how arithmetic goes, at least with algebra. And I'll refresh you in the later videos. I hope you enjoyed.